Welcome back, friends, to the Polished Podcast. We hope you're enjoying our conversation with today's guest, Chelsea Sobolik. And now it's time to add a dash of spontaneity and a sprinkle of fun to the show. It's time for Ask Me Anything. You ready for this, Chelsea?
I'm ready.
This is a chance for us to peel back the layers to get to know the woman behind the work, to get the quirks behind your expertise. I'm going to ask you a few questions that I and our audience have curated, and we are just following our curiosity to know more about you. So our first question, yes. Our first question is, it's February, it's Black History Month. Could you tell us someone from the Black community who's deeply influenced or inspired you and how their impact has shaped your perspective on your work?
The first person I thought of was Condoleezza Rice. She's the former Secretary of State under the Bush administration, and I live and work in Washington, D.C. I work in foreign policy, and I just have a lot of respect for her. And this is not a political statement. It's a woman of color in a very, very, very senior leadership position in a former administration. And she just carries herself with such command and courage and dignity and elegance, and led very well. So I think she's the first person to come to mind that I just, especially in my field of work, I really, really admire.
Okay, question 2. You recently became a mom through adoption. You've been very vocal about it on your social media. And parenthood, as we've been talking about, it's quite an adjustment for everyone, especially becoming a new mom of a toddler. Could you share with us the most heartwarming or funny moment you've experienced as a new mom?
Oh my goodness. The other day, this is the heartwarming one, and then I'll do a funny one too. But the other day, our son's name is Dev. He got up early from his nap, and I was actually working on an article, and he came up and wanted to be held, and then I just laid down on the sofa, and he fell asleep on me for another hour, which is just preciously heartwarming.
Those are so sweet. Yeah.
So sweet. And this kid has personality. I mean, he's so much personality. He will high five. He tries so hard to high five our cat and doesn't understand that our cat doesn't high five. So I'll take our cat's little paw and high five him. But he tries so hard. It's cute. It's really cute.
I love it. I know. It's so cool to see kids explore the world, just kind of uncover it and figure out what works, what doesn't. Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch them navigate that. Do you have any advice to someone who may be considering adoption?
I would say talk to if you're able to, all people in the adoption triad. We did an international adoption, so we weren't obviously able to talk to birth parents internationally, but the adoption triad is adoptees, first families, and adoptive parents. So really, really seek to understand kind of all aspects. Have a lot of conversations before you enter in, and then have a really, really, really strong community around you as you're going through the process.
Yeah, yes, I love that. I think what you and your husband have done, bringing Dev into your family, is a beautiful thing. And it's obvious that you have explored all the wisdom within that, through the whole process, because I've watched other friends walk through it, and it is a process. So having that strong community to hold you through those hard moments and through the joyful moments, and then also just seeking that wisdom. I love that. Well, my final question for you is, I know you live in Northern Virginia, which is a funny connection. I grew up in Northern Virginia for about 7 years before we moved away. And I know a lot has changed since I lived there. And you also work in D.C. What is your favorite hidden gem or secret spot in D.C. that you'd recommend for others to go visit?
I mean, I want to keep it hidden.
I like that answer.
I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. This is probably cliche to DC, but there's a coffee shop called Ebenezer's right by Union Station.
Mark Batterson's?
Yes, it's owned by a church. A church, and they take part of the proceeds, and I think a homeless ministry is one of the biggest ones, but part of the proceeds go towards local ministries. And so I love coffee. It's not necessarily a hidden gem, but it's a local coffee shop, and Coffee with a cause. I think it's their little tagline. So,
I love that. I have a bucket list goal to make it out to DC to visit Mark Batterson's church, and Ebenezer's was on that list. So I think that's so cool. That's
and their coffee's actually good. It's really good.
That's praise God, because I've had enough church coffee in my life that I started. I bring my own. I bring my own.
Yes. So
I can't handle it.
Yeah. No, I love, I mean, they know me by name. I go there so much.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Chelsea, thanks for sharing some of these points of interest within your story with us. And here's the thing, friends, we want you to be a part of the conversation too. We want your burning questions, your curious musings, your wild wonderings about our guests. So if there's something you've always wanted to ask, now's your chance. So go to our website, polishnetwork.org/podcast, and submit your questions there. Be a Polish Podcast MVP. Send in those questions today. You'll get a mention and insight into your favorite guests. We can't wait to dive into your queries and unveil the surprises that await. So send those questions in today.